Reform humiliated, Jeremy Corbyn insults Reform MPs, then runs to Speaker and plays victim. Westminster, London, a stormy exchange erupted in the House of Commons yesterday after former Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn launched a scathing attack on Reform UK MPs, drawing condemnation for language many described as inflammatory and inappropriate. During a tense debate on the government's latest immigration white paper, Corbyn appeared to compare Prime Minister Rishi Sunak's language to that of the controversial Enoch Powell, and then turned his ire directly toward members of the Reform UK party. "Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker," Corbyn began. Could the Home Secretary explain why, in the introduction of this white paper, the language of Enoch Powell was used by the Prime Minister? Or is it all about trying to please these people who unfortunately sit in front of me? His remark was widely interpreted as a pointed reference to Reform UK MPs seated opposite him in the chamber. Audible gasps could be heard in the Commons, followed by a swift and forceful rebuttal. "So, does she agree with me that these young men crossing the Channel should be immediately detained and deported, along with the member for Islington, a Reform MP, believed to be Lee Anderson, shot back? I'm quite shocked that the honourable gentleman thinks that that's an appropriate thing to say in this place." The tension mounted as Corbyn, clearly taken aback by the backlash, rose on a point of order, appealing to the Deputy Speaker. "Point of order, Madam Deputy Speaker," Corbyn said. "Does she agree with me that this kind of language and innuendo, inaccuracy, is unbecoming of this place, is not fit to be uttered in this building, and that members, when they speak in Parliament, should show respect for each other, rather than risk bringing our whole political process into disrepute?" Corbyn continued, defending his original comments and turning his criticism toward Reform MP Lee Anderson directly. "I have no problem with debate," he said, "but I do think people should not stoop to abuse and fundamental inaccuracies and conjecture, as the member for Ashfield did, and I've so informed him already." The Deputy Speaker responded with careful neutrality, refusing to censure either MP but offering a reminder of the decorum expected in the House. "The right honourable member has put his point on the record," she said. "While I am not persuaded that anything unparliamentary occurred in the debate, I would remind all members that good temper and moderation, in the words of Erskine May, should be the characteristics of parliamentary debate. I would encourage all members to act towards each other with courtesy." Observers noted the irony of Corbyn's appeal to the Speaker for protection, having moments earlier delivered remarks that many viewed as deliberately provocative. Reform UK MPs were visibly angered by the insinuations and what one described as classic Corbyn victimhood. Outside the chamber, reaction was swift. "This is the type of rhetoric that fuels division," said a spokesperson for Reform UK. "Mr. Corbyn has a long history of inflammatory language, and once again he's shown contempt for not only Reform MPs but for anyone who dares to disagree with him." Meanwhile, Labour Party sources were quick to distance themselves from Corbyn's remarks, emphasising that he sits as an independent and does not represent the current leadership. Political analysts weighed in on the wider implications of the spat. "What we saw today wasn't just a clash of views," said Dr. Hannah Ellis, a political scientist at King's College London. "It was a flashpoint that reflects deeper fractures in our political discourse, between legacy figures like Corbyn and a rising populist right represented by Reform UK."